Avocado toast prices drove me to start my next adventure outside of the city. Somewhere with sunny skies, open space to ride, live music, and hot springs. I'm really eager to ride, so let's knock the mud off my boots from the motocross day and get to it. I'm in Jacumba, a town located in Southern California on the border with Mexico. I value seeing the world through my own eyes, not just what's on the news. Earlier in the day, off camera, I spoke to two rangers who were patrolling the border for illegal immigrants. I asked about the legality and safety of riding here. As for legality, yes, these are marked trails on BLM land, so there's no problem there. The rangers for safety said I should be alright in the daytime, but come nighttime, watch out. Right now you're wondering why I would visit this place. Well, I'll show you. More than that, I'll make the bold assertion that by the end of this episode, you'll see Jacumba as a hidden gem and want to visit it yourself. It's impossible to tell the true story, but this is a mostly complete and mostly accurate account of my adventure in Jacumba. So we'll get to the fun part later, but my story starts on the trails outside of Jacumba while I was riding my Stark Varg Electric Dirbike. I began to see clothing strewn about on these trails. More and more clothing, actually. It was almost progressing in how much I would see. The rangers who I spoke with earlier in the day categorized illegal immigrants into two distinct groups. First, the highly dangerous, less numerous smugglers. The second category was give-ups, those who had nothing but the clothes on their back and were looking to start a new life, or at least to seek shelter. I can't help but wonder why one small boot would be abandoned on this side of the border, and what happened to the person who once wore it. Life is full of unanswered questions. VanLife for me is not a vacation where I seek to escape difficult, complex realities. It's a deeper immersion into reality. On the electric adventure, things change quickly. Let's go into the town of Jacumba, where you'll begin to see why it's a gem.
David! Yeah, man.
I didn't realize it was electric.
Oh,
right?
yeah, it's electric.
On the way in, I already made a friend. His name is David. He's a local to Jacumba.
You can even ride on the border wall too.
Yeah, I did that a little bit.
He owns a really cool thrift shop you can see here. There's much more to explore in Jacumba, so I load up the bike, lock the van, and continue on foot. Long ago, here in the Sonoran Desert, this place was a bathhouse. It was abandoned and in disrepair for many years, until the new owners of the hotel cleaned it up and made it into something really special. Now it's a candle-lit, open-air venue for music. The heavy stone walls make for excellent acoustics. With the warm light, exceptional sound, I'm sure you can imagine how beautiful a live show is in this venue. Sick. The next stop I make is at David's thrift store. This bright yellow sweater was calling to me, so I picked it up for 20 bucks and wore it that evening. And then I meet a wonderful local named Becky. She's a friend of David's. So how long have you lived here in Jacumba?
I'm in my 7th year living here in Jacumba.
Yeah. Look at this little guy. I asked Becky about him. How did you find your dog?
So Bowie was about 4 or 5 months old, and I found him by himself trotting outside of town. He was in the middle of nowhere, and I just pulled up and put him in my car, and he's been with me ever since.
Becky says I should meet Patricia. Patricia says it would be great to meet you. Please bring half and half for my morning coffee. I've got some cool stuff to show you. That's how I find myself walking into this cool pyramid in the desert to meet Patricia. She burns sage, and our conversation is about this as a space of healing. I ask her about the art portraying snakes, which I see so often here in Jacumba.
The serpent, the snake, is also, I don't think it should be feared because it's also a sign of transformation, right? Shedding the skin and really spiritually changing. So you can look at everything with light or with darkness.
Patricia lives in art. Her home is adorned in paintings. There's a one-of-a-kind soaking tub with a beautiful view of the stars at night. On the property, there are rail cars, which have become a place of art and exploration. A set of 4 soaking tubs with a solar heating system.
You can go inside.
You can go inside there?
Sound bowl.
What's that sound? Awesome.
In, you have the view of the sacred mountain, and you're going. Isn't that amazing?
So amazing. If you're unfamiliar with the idea of a sound bath, it's pretty wonderful. It's music and meditation combined into one. Patricia graciously offered me a sound bath in the pyramid, and it was a wonderful source of mental and spirit rejuvenation. Thank you so much, Patricia. With a little more bounce in my step, I head back to the van. My friend Natalia is showing up soon, so I unload the Stark Varg and we cruise around the town a little bit on it. We notice some expensive homes at the top of this hill. If you look under the spray paint, it's Snob Hill Road. The spray paint shows someone just wanted it to be Hill Road. The stickers over the spray paint indicate someone really wanted it to remain Snob Hill Road. A little more exploring for us. This time we are in search of the semi-hidden hot springs. I'm so happy we found it. The water was crystal clear and very warm. It had a slight smell of sulfur, which for Natalia was nostalgic. This space was so full of life and sunshine. It almost made you forget you were still within sight of the border wall. I said I would make you want to visit Jacumba yourself. Well, I intend to do that, and I have just the thing to help you make up your mind. Jacumba Hot Springs Hotel. It's a Moroccan-inspired hidden gem. If, hypothetically, you live in a van, you do not have to purchase a hotel room to use the amenities. Instead, you can just do a day pass. The food is really delicious and more affordable than the avocado toast in the city. Maybe the coolest part about the whole meal were the salt and pepper shakers? Not shakers, right? But they had salt and pepper in them. After eating, I'm off in search of the pool. It's filled with the warm spring water that's found naturally in Jacumba. Splashing around in this water is quite rejuvenating. Next, we leave the pool, but stay at the hotel because there's live music later in the bar. I felt pretty cool in my sweater from David's thrift shop.
Like one of those, like...
To my grave underwater, 'cause I love the cat.
Nat, so what's your opinion of Jacumba?
10/10 would recommend, but only come here in good company.
20 acres, dogs, and like, to get back into the
Early that morning, I noticed ice on the seat of my Varg. The absence of light, the darkness, is cold enough to freeze. The blazing sun, the hot Jacumba spring water, are tireless in their effort to warm, bring light, and make the cold disappear, even if only to lose the battle every sunset and try again the next sunrise. In the absence of light, this is a cold place. With the light, we see the beauty of Jacumba and its people. Thank you. Our world looks very different in the dark and in the light. Immigration, sound bath, skimpy bikini. This episode had it all. Thank you so much for your support. It really means a lot. Every individual like and subscribe, I see them and I appreciate them. Thank you. I enjoy this process because it causes me to reflect more than I normally would, the editing process. So thanks for all of your support.